them?
A great mystery. There were gods up there that shamans who knew about them told us. They still do.
Have you ever wished it would end?
No.
14,000 years. Injuries, illness, disasters. You've survived them all. You're a very lucky man.
Come in.
John Oldman?
Yes.
Charity now. We're here to pick up the furniture.
It's all yours.
Here, take this chair. I'm gonna go drink in the corner.
You're donating it? Everything? I'll get more.
You always traveled as light?
It's the only way to move.
Oh, you've talked a good deal about your extraordinary amount of living. What do you think of dying, John? Do you fear death?
Who wouldn't?
How did primitive man regard death?
Well, we had the practical concept. Stopped, fell down, didn't get up. Started to smell bad, come apart. Injuries we could understand if someone's insides were all over the ground. Infections, they were mysterious. Aging, biggest mystery of all.
You realize you were different.
Longer to realize how I was different. To find a way to synthesize my experience into a view of myself. At first I thought everybody had something wrong with them. They got old, they died. Animals too. But not me.
Oh, forgive me, my dear. You live simply.
I own castles, but why leave a lot if you're always leaving? I have money.
Would you get into AT&T at 50 cents, John?
As one grows older, the days, weeks, months go by more quickly. What does a day or a year or a century mean to you? The birth-death cycle.
Turbulence. I meet someone, run a name, say a word, they're gone. Others come like waves, rise, fall. Ripples in a wheat field blown by the wind.
You ever get tired of it all?
I get bored now and then. They keep making the same stupid mistakes over and over.
Hey. Then you see yourself as separate from the rest of humanity.
I didn't mean it that way. But of course, I am.
Are you comfortable knowing that you have lived while everyone you knew, John, has died?
I've regretted losing people. Often.
Have you ever felt guilt about that? Something akin to survivor's guilt.
In the strict psychological sense? Suppose I have. Yeah. Well, what can I do about it?
Indeed.
I'm sorry, man.
Gentlemen, I'm going to keep the couch. Thanks. Ladies, Will,
Oh, no.
you've got a heart condition. Don't grump about it.
Hey, how about changing the subject? Well, enough with the dying.
But this is the flip side of his coin, Harry. I'm very curious to know his feelings. Would you prefer I asked him about his father?
I thought you always started with tell me about your mother.
Yes, but prehistory was strongly patriarchal. Surely you remember your father.
I seem to remember a figure. Perhaps an older brother, a social father, maybe.
Well, no matter. I could scarcely remember mine. Do you feel a vacancy in your life about that, John? Something you wish could be filled by a face, a voice, an image?
Not at this late date.
There must be someone, probably many, that you valued intensely, loved. You saw them age and die. A friend, a colleague, a wife. Certainly you've had wives and children.
I'd move on. I had to move on.
Making him history's biggest bigamist.
Have you ever in your life thought, it should have been me?
Maybe.
Your heart has told me that some of your early fellows feared you were stealing their lives. Have you thought that perhaps you were? Perhaps you are. There have always been legends of such a thing, a creature, not quite human, taking not the blood, but the life force itself.
My God, Will.
Unconsciously, perhaps, by some biological or psychic mechanism that we can only guess at. I'm not saying you would do such a thing deliberately. I'm not saying that you would even know how to. Would you? But would such a thing be fair?
So you believe me then?
I'm only exploring what you have said. Whether I believe it or not is of no importance. We will die. You will live. Will you come to my funeral, John?
Hey, Will.
You've gone too far. John didn't ask to be what he is.
And we did not ask to hear about it. But if it were true, is there one among us who would not feel envy? Even perhaps a touch of hatred? You told us of yourself, John. Can you imagine how we feel?
I never thought of that.
Since you may not die, while we most assuredly will, there must be a reason for that, no? Perhaps you are an expert.
That's it, Mr. Oldman. Have a good one.
Thank you. You too.
Or are you a vampire, John? Even an unknowing one? Do you stand alive and tall in a graveyard that you helped to fill?
That's going too far.
Bored, perhaps lonely because your heart cannot keep its treasures. Is that what you're doing? Have you led a wrongful life? Well, then, perhaps it is time to die.
Oh, wait a minute. No, look, I don't know what John is doing, but I sure as hell don't like what you're doing. Now, you give me that gun or I'm gonna break your goddamn arm.
Well, you sound like our football coach, Dan. What do you think, John? A shot to the arm? Perhaps we could watch it heal. A bullet in the head. What exactly will happen? I have papers to correct. As much as I dislike that job, it will be preferable to this. I leave you with it.
Jesus Christ. What the hell was that all about?
Where'd you get a gun?
We had you on the ropes, John. You're really so damn smart.
It's not like Will.
Mary passed away yesterday.
Who?
His wife. She had pancreatic cancer.
Will. I didn't know about Mary. I'm sorry. I can see how this might have hit you.
Please, permit me to be infantile by myself.
Will. Please.
What the hell were you thinking, Art? Oh, come on. Something had to be done.
I have to say I agree.
Man, he's our friend. Whatever else on earth is going on, he's our friend.
You sure about that?
Why the hell are you being so hard on him, Edith?
One of my favorite people is disappearing.